Have you checked some official sources, or is this just some of your conspiracy shit?
You think I'm gonna check? You think I'm gonna check the sources? Come on now. No, I haven't checked the sources. Welcome.
Can't believe everything you read. I mean,
Jesus.
like, actually, okay, so I do see myself on Facebook right here. But
I have to say,
it could just be our screens.
It could be. Welcome everyone to the new and improved, slightly,
If we're here at all.
JNL live stream today.
If we're here at all.
If we're here at all, I don't know if you can see us. This is the first episode, and we're winging it. I'm going to manually check to see if we're rolling here, because I'll tell you, it's been a doozy setting this up for some reason. It looks like we are live. So, my first and favorite guest of all time for this live stream is my very bestest friend and musical partner in crime, Aaron Ives of Get Famous and of Aaron Ives. Say hello.
I'm of that. Hello, everyone. I'm all about it. I'm all of it. And I'm all up in your shit. Okay,
that's disgusting, Aaron.
It is disgusting. Yeah.
That's how you roll. I'm not gonna judge you. Not gonna judge you. So, we're live streaming. I wanted to live stream and have a chat with Aaron and talk about music for a brief while, because he's a hungry boy and he needs to go eat some food.
Well, I'm fine. I've got beer for now.
Okay.
And
well,
today on the menu is Vestal's Pineapple Pete. It's good.
Well, I'm a little bit more grown up with my Bud Light. And by grown up, I mean like old man. That's an old man beer.
Bud Light. I can't see you on the live stream, by the way. Sorry that we shouldn't be talking about this. I should just ignore it. But for some reason, the screen is just gray.
Just ignore all the technical bullshit.
I feel like you could be doing hilarious things, and you probably are. And I would know right now.
Always doing hilarious things. Now, what do you mean you can't see?
It's just gray. I see myself because I'm looking at the OBS thing, and then on the right, gray.
Huh.
Just a bland gray. I'd call it like a Microsoft gray. It's just gray. You know, there's no pizzazz at all.
Yeah, a nice warm Microsoft gray. I like that.
That's what I want for my wedding.
So, Aaron, we've known each other for some years. Probably
10 years for about 18 years. Just kidding. No, it's no, I think it's gotta be 06 or 05.
Yeah,
we would have.
Yeah, it is 05 or 06. Yeah,
05 or 06.
Yeah.
So 14 or 15 years.
I wanted to.
I'm excited for that number to get to 20 and 25 and.
Yeah. What are we gonna do? What will we plan?
What's neat is we can never stop knowing each other. So.
Well.
We're gonna
let's not go there.
Stop existing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Unless you're like, I don't want to know you anymore. That will never happen.
I hate you.
That'll never happen.
You're not my friend anymore.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna have a silver anniversary and gold. And what are the gifts? We need to actually learn what the gifts are.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta figure that out.
Need to give.
You know what? Let's leave that to the comments below.
Yeah.
People, tell us what the gifts should be for our romantic anniversaries. Is there anyone even watching this? I'm not sure. But, so anyways, oh, are you still, I think you're frozen. Are you frozen again? Oh, for the love of Pete. Well, how did that happen? So it looks like Aaron just dropped out. And I don't know how that happened. That's really unfortunate. Oh, man. We were just talking about friends dying, and now my good friend is gone. How? How? That's poo. Oh, wait, he's back. He's alive. He's alive. He exists. Aaron, you're alive. Can you hear me? Aaron, can you hear me? This is the strangest. Are you back? Whoa, he's frozen. He's gone again. This is the worst live stream ever. Ah, for God's sakes. Just.
Mean again?
You know, I blame Susan Wojcicki and
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. I think they're trying to shut us down. Because we know the truth.
Yeah.
And let's not F around here. We know the truth. You know the truth. I know the truth. And they're trying to shut us down.
Yep.
I mean, I couldn't be more passionate about anything in the world here.
Because it's billions of dollars.
We're talking about billions. We're talking about trillions. We're talking about like.
It's going to be trillions.
I heard a figure. Actually, I read an article. They're talking zillions of dollars.
What?
They're talking fucking a zillion dollars. A $1.1.
Do you know what that means? That means they could have us for breakfast. They could have us for lunch. They can do anything they want, John.
What have I been telling everyone? What have you been telling everyone?
Like, because if you had that much money, wouldn't you eat humans?
No question. It's not even a question. That's a stupid question. I usually say there's no dumb questions, but that one's.
Yeah.
That one takes the cake.
Everything changes at that point.
If I had $1 zillion, like, I don't even want to get into this. I would eat all kinds of people. And you're laughing. You're so. You're just right there with them. You just think it's so funny.
I'm laughing this off because I know it's true.
You know, it was like 5 minutes ago we were talking about how our friendship could last forever and it would be so messed up to say goodbye. But right now, I just don't know what to tell you.
I'll have what he's having. No, there's got to be another way to say that. That means like I'm gonna eat that person. But what he's having. Yeah. No, there's got to be another way to say it. Luckily, we know we're never going to be that successful.
Yeah, no, there's no chance.
So we don't need to. We don't need to go there.
No, we're not going there. That's fine.
We're back. We're
That's
good.
Fine.
We have ways to communicate and we have other ways to subsist. We don't need people.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's drop it.
Yep.
People don't have all night to sit around listening to us play with our buttholes. So I want to get right into why we're having this very important once in a lifetime chat.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to my good friend, Aaron, my musical partner. In case somebody was on the last live stream, which was just a few minutes ago before it cut out and came back in, I'm going to reset this up and apologize. Aaron and I have known each other for 20 years or something. And we make music together, and Aaron is one half of the band Get Famous, and I am the other half of the band Get Famous. And Aaron also makes music under his own name, Aaron Ives. And Aaron has been in some other bands as well. And so I wanted to have Aaron on to talk about music, because I think we're going to talk about music a little bit.
Great. Great. I haven't been talking about music for a bit. We haven't been talking about music for a bit.
Exactly. And that's the point. That is the point. Put us on the hot seat. Let's talk about it. Let's clear the air. Let's get it out of the system. Let's address the elephant.
I think the most involvement in music that I have right now, or the extent to which I'm involved in music, is just in my head. I'll just hear something and I'll start humming it, and I'm like, that's the best thing ever. And this is how it's always been for me. Like as a kid, you just get something in your head, and it's just like, then there's this whole orchestra, and it's just there, but no one ever hears it because it's just in your head.
That is fascinating to me. And I think I've told you this once before, but I'm going to say it publicly.
Yep.
I don't get that in my head ever. I've had it like 2 or 3 times. Once it woke me up out of a dream. And I woke up hearing it, and I was just like looking around the room like, holy shit, this is the most complex, amazing arrangement and all these melodies in my head. I'm like, I must write this down. But that's only happened to me like 3 times in my life. So I'm fascinated when you tell me that that's how it works for you, or at least off and on.
Yeah, off and on, and it's fleeting. Like there'll be a thing, and it's just like a melody that's like, I love that, and it's just going, and then just my brain just fills in the perfect things, but I can't get it. Like it's so hard once you sit down and you're like, okay, now I'm gonna make this into something, and then you like,
I'm jealous.
I don't have the skill for this, and then it's like I can't make what I heard. It ends up being very mechanical because I'll kind of latch on. I'll literally forget. It's so fleeting.
Right.
All the stuff that I had in my head, and then what I put together, I actually feel like I make better stuff when I sit down and I kind of just start clinking around and like, is clinking around? I don't know. Start just making loops and making things, and then you're like, okay, I'm finding something. I make better stuff that way, I think, than trying to recreate what was in my head. I'm starting to think the stuff in my head it's just in my head, and that's where it stays.
Well,
is that weird?
Yeah, of course it's weird.
Of course it's fucking weird. You're fucking weird.
Oh, fuck, man. No, that's very interesting. Yeah, I'm jealous that you have that. I want it more.
Oh, and the way it manifests itself, which you've seen a lot, is just like I'll just have like something. I'll be like
produced beats in the head.
It sounds like Slobber, yeah.
There's compression on it in my head. There's a gated snare in my head.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm hearing it.
There's always the produced beats, right? And you're trying to fill in with your mouth, with your inhales, like.
And we used to try to get chicks that way.
Hey, baby. Yeah. We did, and it worked.
I'm a musician. I'm a musician.
Listen to my robot voice. Listen to my robot voice. Yeah. I think every musician can relate to this right now.
Totally. And they're like,
and most girls approached by musicians.
Absolutely. They're like, yeah, I've been slobbered twice. I don't know. Tell us your stories.
So I don't know how much time you have, but I actually wanted to ask you some serious questions.
Okay.
What color are your socks right now?
Actually.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Didn't see that coming. No. Let's talk about your musical journey in life.
Yeah.
Aaron, in case no one knows who you are, Aaron, I'm gonna talk to the audience for a second.
They do.
Just over here for a second. This guy, Aaron, is one of the most talented musicians in the world. He's the most talented musician I know. I'm actually fortunate to be surrounded by a couple of talented musicians, but it's only a couple. It's only a couple. And I'm curious. Maybe we've discussed this once or twice in the past.
Yeah.
But how did it all start for you?
First of all, that's too kind. And I don't feel like I'm a great musician. I feel like I'm
Jesus.
Okay, no. You know what I mean? Like I'm a digital creator, like but or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, I think it started when I was young. I was listening to my parents' records. We had a musical household. My dad was like the choir director. My mom played piano at the church. So that was just that was an influence there. There was music stuff. And in the household, and we had some guitars around. We had some acoustic guitars, and we showed an interest in guitar. And then my dad, on the buy and sell, bought like a huge amp. Like I'm talking like an amp that was like, I think about it now, we're exactly the same, because that's exactly what I would do. I'd be like, well, if you're gonna buy an amp, you're gonna buy this little, you're gonna buy the big one anyway. Eventually,
you buy the Doc Brown app, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it had like 4 speakers that were like 12 or 14 or so. I don't know. They were big, huge cabinet. It's almost 6 feet tall or something. 5.5, let's say. It's freaking big Fender amp. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. But yeah, so we had that, and then I began with just this terrible guitar, and I had no direction. I was just playing the guitar, just borrowing the whole thing. But actually, I have tapes. I started recording just these made up songs, just literally just borrowing everything. Like, so I started with the worst, place you can be. The worst place you can be. But just like in terms of musicianship. And my mom taught piano, but I actually just couldn't really pick it up. I got frustrated. But for some reason with guitar...
Tell me about it.
Yeah, exactly. But you have the feel, and I never got the feel on keyboard. I don't have feel on keyboard.
Back to you, yeah.
But when it comes to guitar, my cousin, who's also he's this fantastic musician, just singer. There's a whole other segment on him. But anyways, he kind of introduced us to scales. We got this book of scales, and I started going up and down the scales, and it was like, okay, it was just like something that I could focus on, being like a little bit hyperactive and not able to hone in on one thing. The scales really helped me focus. was a book of scales and chords that kind of go with the scales. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to learn these scales. And then you could, if you get all these scales, then you can kind of know where to go at any point in time. And the cool thing about a guitar is versus keyboard is that, or piano, is that the shape of the scales, you know, remain the same as you transpose into different keys. Whereas with piano, it's like this and this and this and this, and like it's just some pianists are probably like, his hands were totally wrong.
It's not like this. It's like this.
No, just kidding.
It's true. Like, they call those shapes, or the chord shapes. There's like some oh shit. There's some like, you know, music teachers or whatever, they refer to them as picture chords. Sorry, that's it. Picture chords. Oh, you can make 3 picture chords with this shape of a hand, and you can make 3 yeah. But you're right. I envy that about guitar. Go on.
Yeah, so you could transpose, and I got into that, and then it was like stuff like the blues scale and the pentatonic scales, and that really just kind of got me fired up. That I could,
which I mastered.
I loved the solos of like Metallica, and there were just like the
which I love as well.
It's great, yeah. But the cheesy stuff was like the Steve Vai and the Joe Satriani. These guys that were just like. And I was just like, I just loved that at the time. I was just like, oh, cool, I want a solo. And then it was all about trying to do fast scales and try to like play these solos and stuff. And because you could play something and just loop it, or have a record playing or a song, and you could kind of do a solo over top of it. So
that's what you did? You would just play a record and then solo on it, kind of find the scale and walk it?
My timeline is all messed up because I'm like, what was I playing along with? And because I know that I was also starting to record stuff. So maybe I was doing it over top of stuff I recorded, because my cousin, who is the recording aficionado, he had an 8-track Tascam tape recorder. So it, of course, records 8 channels. For people who are younger and have never been exposed to cassette tapes, or not that much, it would take a regular cassette tape, the same as you have music on, and instead of having, normally you have stereo, side A and side B. So essentially that's 4 channels. You have side A, which would have the left and the right, and side B that has the left and the right. Well, these multi-track recorders, of course, would split that. Instead of having the 4 channels, it would split it into 8. So you would have your 8 channels that you could record onto. Now, and then, so my cousin had the 8-track. That was a big deal, but he lent me the 4-track. So it was a.
You can have this piece of garbage.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. I got a pit bull now.
Garbage. Yeah, and I was actually, because my dad also bought us drums. So we got drums, the big amp, and a.
What really did you have a Power Wheels Jeep too growing up? What's up with this?
None of that stuff. I think
no fancy stuff, just a nice.
I had hand-me-down toys. I didn't have. I bought a lot of my own stuff because I would work with my dad in summers, but so we weren't not at all spoiled as far as toys and stuff. But stuff that my dad and my parents saw value in. Okay, this is something. Okay, yes, we're going to actually feed this thing. And so the music was one of the things.
Yeah, drum set. What age were you when the drum set came into the house?
I'm just going to, you know what? I have the worst memory. I'm going to take a wild guess that it was probably like 12 or 13.
And when did you get the first guitar? Like, when did you first start just barring the neck of a guitar? How many years before
that? It was probably around then too, maybe 11, 12, 13.
Okay, so it was right away. It was
all kind of happening at the same time, as I recall.
I was kind of expecting you to say like, I
have the guitar.
There were a few years in between that. Right. Just wondering if your dad was sort of observing the investment. So that's the first guitar you have.
The guitar, yeah. So it actually never was any good. It was terrible. So, but yeah, and it was like it's a mini electric guitar. But It totally did the job, and it could kind of distort. And then, of course, I got into distortion pedals and getting all these different pedals and effects. Um, and then my brother and I would jam because my brother is a huge part of this. My younger brother, he'd play drums and I would play guitar, or vice versa. And then I was really into making my own songs and just recording them into this 4-track, which I have to get those cassette tapes and
Oh, you have them?
yeah, I still have everything, and a lot of it I need to
Jeez.
digitize still. It's just stuff sitting on these cassette tapes, but it was great. Yeah, I don't know. And I just loved it.
So tell me then, at what point did the singing start? Like, did you just pick up a guitar, you started figuring out scales and chords, and then you went, well, of course I'm singing along to this? Was it just like it wasn't even a question, or was there a progression there? Did you sing previous in school, or how did that work?
Not really, and I really I didn't feel like I could sing very well. In the beginning, particularly, it was like I remember recording with my brother a song that we made up, unless this is like a song that exists, but I feel like we made it up. And we were just like playing into this cassette deck, and it was about mama's fat ass stuck on the can, stuck on the toilet again and
Oh, well,
again.
we've all made a song about that.
I know. Okay. So is this? I need to determine. Were we singing a folk tale? Was this a folk
No,
tale of yours?
I was just kidding.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
sure it was
still
just.
convinced it might be a folk tale, but mama's fat ass stuck on the can, stuck on the toilet again and again. And anyways, singing stuff like that, just silly, like totally silly, having fun, humorous, just wild, silly kids. And that's how I kind of felt about singing. I just felt like I couldn't really, and it just never came naturally. It was later that it started to. I guess you stick around something for long enough, eventually you start to find something. And yeah, so just all kind of, you hit your head against the wall enough times, and then it starts to take shape.
So then, when did you develop frontman syndrome? I'm
I
just
think
kidding. No, but I'm actually
I do have a specific day.
I'm just
Just kidding.
yeah. I just want the year.
Just want the year and the month.
No,
That's it.
I'm actually really curious. And I sort of half meant that as a joke, but like really, you're describing what sounds more like this logical evolution. Like you just started singing along. Like
Right.
unless I blacked out, but that's kind of how I took that.
Yeah.
But then no, but okay. So let me just polish what I said a minute ago. But you really have adopted a very much, well, the viewers don't know this. Some of our viewers do because they're our close friends. And we talked about this in another live stream. You have a theater background.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious. I'm really interested in how that all weaves together, that you just pick up, guitar, you start playing, you learn the scales, you start singing, and that's just a logical progression to you. But then on this other side, you have this theatrical background where you I mean, you know what? Why don't you talk about that for a second? How did that start? I'd like to get you telling these two stories, and then we'll watch them converge and we'll figure out the date when that happened. How did your theater career emerge?
Well, I think it was my family just being so very theatrical. Everything's a pun. Everything's, away. Can you say that sillier, please? Like it's just everything's like that, it's just, and trying to be clever, like adding something clever to everything you're saying, sort of like that's more my dad. And my mom, absolutely is a bit like that too, but it's more, I think my dad more led the charge on that, and that just sort of set the tone, just being silly, and I think I have kind of that dual thing where kind of like half introverted, half extroverted. Now, I think most people think of me as being more extroverted, but internally you have that thing that's like this artist thing, and you're just like, "Mm." But as I get older, I get more extroverted, but I feel like when I was younger, I did feel quite introverted. However, at the same time, there's all these stories of me doing zany things growing up in school and things like that, where I'm like, that doesn't feel like it's me. I don't know. There's this dual thing. But I think performing, when you see, I think for me, it's like when there's an opening and there's a silence and there's just, you feel like, oh, people need to be entertained. I mean, they need something. They need something, a little bit of spice here. And
You filled the void.
I, I, I guess so. It's just like this.
Did you
this weird
consider yourself a
compulsive
class
thing.
clown? Is that not the term that would describe how you felt?
I took that on a little bit. I think it's one of those things that I probably was more so than I even knew. Where you're just being yourself, and then internally you feel almost like you're shy, but you're totally not, like you're totally out there. But to me, it's all about, you put something out there to entertain, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are.
Right.
It's only your close people who know really all the inner, who you really are inside. But
It's
I
deep,
don't know.
man. That's really deep, dude.
Way too far. But yeah, no, and then I've just always been kind of natural at that stuff. But it is something you turn on, that you go from being like the normal person. Okay, there's a thing. I can be anything. I can be any character that you want right now, and I'll commit to it. And that commitment is
You so you are a great actor. You really can put on like any character. Except one.
okay.
I've never seen you angry.
Right.
Aaron's the happiest fucking guy I've ever met. Always. You get pissed off at things. You'd be like, God damn it, this thing is broken.
Usually inanimate.
Yeah, but you're let's not dwell on this for so long. Anyone that knows Aaron knows he's just always happy, and it's really something to behold. Let's get back to music.
I had a high school play. I was in a high school play called A Dark and Stormy Night, and I played the very intense, main character, this sort of like a vampirish kind of character, pale skin, but I wasn't a vampire, but I don't know. But I made my little cousin cry.
Oh no.
Because I was so intense in that role. So, anyways, I'll be proud of that forever. Apparently, he shit his pants too. So
You sick bastard. Let's get back to music though. Okay, so you figure out the instruments. You start developing a voice. You are combining your intrinsic theatrical being that starts to emerge. At what point do you start taking music seriously?
I still haven't.
I knew you were gonna say that.
No, I think because I talked about the guitar part, there's the computer part, which is where we converge.
Sure. Well, why don't we back up? Why don't you tell that part of the story?
Learning the computer stuff, recording. Basically, my uncle had a keyboard that he bought at Long and McQuaid. It came with some software that was on floppy disk, and he's like, "Yeah, there's these discs that came with this keyboard we got. I don't know, maybe you could try messing around with it." And this tracks software was just a MIDI sequencing software. All it did was MIDI. It didn't really do audio. It was just, so I started just actually mostly with a mouse, just kind of clicking the notes in and being like, and just like putting these things in and being like, that's amazing. And it would just like play sounds from my computer's sound card because, and this almost seems like a foreign thing right now, but of course you bought a computer and you actually had to like have a specific sound card in it that was just for the sound. Most of that's integrated these days in computers, but you buy a sound card and that sound card would have, would be able to make audio when you play music or whatever, but it would also have a built-in little synth because most games and things that you would play on an old PC, it didn't have recorded music. It just had MIDI notes that would trigger the actual onboard synth that's in the computer. So it was just like this thing that I discovered. I'm like, there's music inside this computer? Like it was just this whole thing. And then I ended up messing around with that and learning that. So, and then from there, I just became obsessed with that. I would just sit there making these little tunes. And so, sorry, when did I get serious about music? On from there, we met. We were like, "You're a guy who sits there for hours in your own sweat and filth?" I
Me too.
invented.
Smell my pants.
It smells like passion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we both were those guys, and we immediately just connected on that. Or maybe we should talk about how we met.
Yeah, that wasn't long too that we connected. This is how I remember it. I mean, chime in and change the story to whatever sounds better.
Okay.
But our mutual friend.
We're boning.
Hey,
I don't know.
what the fuck? Our mutual friend Theo, who I have known since the old high school days, was just your roommate. And one day I had sent Theo a track that I was working on. Actually, no, I'm already messing that up. One day, Theo sent me an audio recording of a microphone, and he said, check it out, got a new mic, sounds sick. That was about it, plus this WAV file over MSN Messenger. I get this audio file, and it's you.
Oh, this is the mic.
And that's the mic.
This is the mic.
And in fact, this is the mic too. We have identical mics.
Because you're like, I'm getting one too.
That day, actually, I was like, whoa, that mic's awesome. I ran out and got one. So I get this mic back, and it's just a bunch of ad-lib, hilarious, like, put an improv guy on a mic who can also sing, and he's just messing around. Silliest nonsense. And so...
You don't have that, do you?
I have it.
Do you have it handy? Oh, okay.
I don't know if it'll play through here, though.
Right. I might not be able to hear it, but would the audience at home be able to hear it?
I mean, potentially.
Never mind. Sorry. You go on. If you do find it, then we could play it.
Yeah. So I take this audio file and I cut it up. I cut up some of whatever's in there. Sorry, I'm gonna search for it. I have to. They're gonna want to know. They're gonna be kicking my door down.
I'm not gonna be able to resist. But I remember I was really using the mic.
That's
in all the right ways.
That's how you sounded. That is how you sounded.
What do you want, honey?
Yeah, that
was one of the lines.
So, okay, I ruined the story. Okay, I'm going to tell the story. So then I get this audio file, I cut up a bunch of the sounds, and I put it on a track that I was making at the time, and I send it right back to Theo, kind of without warning, and I guess he thought it was hilarious because I mean, what you were doing in the track I got was just nonsensical hilarity, anyways. So it's like it doesn't, it shouldn't exist on a song, but hey, there it is, and it's funny. And oh, I think I found it, so I'm gonna play it.
Awesome.
I hope the audience can hear it. I'm not sure if they can, but we're going to assume they can. I'm going to check the stream in a second to see if this actually translates. So then... Okay. So then I guess you heard it. You thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dropping. Or stopping. Something's happening. And... I was like, who is this guy? I ruined this story. Man, I butchered this story.
No, because you're searching on your computer.
Yeah.
Start to like do things.
So I'm like, first of all, Theo, who is this on the mic? This is insane. He's like, oh, it's my roommate, Aaron. I'm like, what? Who's Aaron? And so you had been living with him for quite a while and he never told me. And then I hear all this and I'm like, what the hell? So eventually I come over and I bring some tracks and I think I put them on. I don't remember this part. This part's fuzzy, but I just remember coming over to Theo's and there you were. And you picked up your guitar and you just started riffing to a track I had. And I was like, I love this guy.
I think I was kind of like, I think I had that in mind. I was just like, that would be amazing if I played. Were you just playing some stuff for, you were just kind of showing us what you were working on, I guess.
Yeah, it was just something I was working on. Wait, hold on. I'm just going to check the stream and see if this is even playing out of there, because that would be unfortunate if it wasn't. Hey. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna check the stream. I don't think it is. It's not playing out of the stream.
No, I think it is. It is. No,
Is
wait.
it? Here's the part.
When I turn on the, when I check the Facebook stream, I'm hearing music.
Are you? Try it again.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so your part, what you have two parts in this song. One of them's coming up right away. We're just gonna listen for a bit. Again, this is audio that was just sent to me. Oh, there might be another chorus coming up first. Get on down, get on down. Yeah, it's coming up here. I feel like I'm ruining the stream. I hope there's music coming out, or else people are just gonna watch us being silent.
Okay, I'm just hearing it, and it sounds like this.
Here it is.
Oh, honey, you know it's true, baby. We're gonna rock that body nice. Better put it on ice. That ass so hot. I like the heat. I said, baby.
So dumb. And then there's another part. Obviously, it's coming right up. Does anybody mind if I drink Wisers from the bottle?
You know? What was it? What did I say? I'm the worst with lyrics. That's the other thing. I can't even remember my girlfriend telling me at the time. can't remember like pop songs or anything other than I might have the chorus right. But don't expect me to like that.
I don't think people can hear it.
Yeah. Oh.
I was hearing
Check
it
it
today.
down. What? Huh? What do you want, baby?
It's not sounding good. I think it's sounding a little rough, but
Okay, I'm gonna kill this. Okay. Well, I hope that sounded good. You know what? I apologize to anyone who's watching. We're trying to figure this out. We're having insane little issues.
trying to nail this beast.
This beast, yeah, this Facebook and well, live streaming. New to OBS.
So many things to figure out, but we want to get this right, and then we can start to have other guests on. At least if I can still be, I can be a third wheel.
If anyone was listening and is curious and wants to speak to the famous one and only Theo himself, he's commenting on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube and talk to him. Go ask him. Go ask him about living with Aaron. Was Aaron a messy guy? Did he do his dishes?
Wait, John,
was he an asshole?
Wait.
Because I can answer a few of those. Super chats. We got Pixie69 asks, Aaron, are you single?
Where does that come in? Am I saying what? Did someone say that?
Pixie69 on Super Chats says, Aaron, are you single?
She sounds nice. I can't, but no. Pixie69 seems wholesome, but no.
Too Cool for School on Super Chat says, Aaron, are you working on any solo projects?
I've been trying to for my entire life. and that's the thing. It's John, you know this thing. Well, what I admire, John, is that you have the same crushing issue of perfectionism. But you've put a lot of stuff out, and I've really struggled to put things out there. I just you have something that's kind of almost done, sort of, and you're liking it, and I just so often, because I'll see a shiny thing and then I'm doing something else. That's my problem. Just a little bit lack of focus on stuff. So I'll have something like 90% done, but I don't push through to get it really done. So yes, there's been worked on it, kind of created a few tracks this year. One that I sent to you, John.
Yeah, just one. I've only heard one that you've worked on this year.
Oh yeah, there was another one. I don't know if I sent it to you, but so it's been a trickle.
Thanks.
Oh no, actually, to be honest, I know I did send the other one to you, but you didn't listen to it. But yeah, it's been a trickle this year, and I still have the passion, but I want to get the Get Famous stuff done. I think that would be because us together, that's when it really felt like an enabling thing where I felt a little bit of release from myself, smothering things, being like, here's this thing I'm working on, and just like getting just hard to just let it be what it's supposed to be. So I'm still figuring this shit out.
No, I hear you. I agree. It's hard.
I don't have any official releases under my name.
That's true. That is true. And that's unfortunate because I think we got really sidetracked with that stupid song. Once I figure out these audio settings, we'll figure that out and we'll play that live. It'll be a world premiere in
Yeah.
in HD audio, in hi-fi where available. Your stuff, like once we started jamming, like I found out you were an awesome musician right away, and you just ripped on your guitar and you started coming up with melodies and pulling lyrics out of God knows where. And it was just so effortless. But then I sat down and listened to some of your stuff that you had already made. You shared tracks with me. And I think you just said something that kind of makes me sad that you have not released it. And I mean, you haven't even made a SoundCloud or a personal profile.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you made a SoundCloud, but you didn't put all that stuff up there. You remember there was an era where both you and I would almost like make our mixtapes. It's like, here's a CD of some tracks and give it out to friends. Remember Colin had like a CD of your stuff. I remember Colin had a CD of my stuff. It was like, I don't know. People were excited that two friends making music. And you obviously are more of at that time, like you're more of a musician, right? I'm a producer playing with audio, cutting it up and learning to be a musician, but your stuff's so impressive and those tracks were so great, and hearing them, I couldn't even articulate why they were great back then. I didn't know that much. Always would just, say, oh, that sounds like a Tom Petty song, or I'd say something so stupid.
Right. Yeah, there was that track that
I love that track.
Keep
Happening. Yeah.
Yeah, you liked that one, and
I'd always get your stems, and then I would start remixing and be like, "We gotta make this, but we're gonna make it this way," and you'd be like, "Yeah."
No, it's. I still feel like those tracks should see the light of day.
I listened to some. I did it again. I listened to some early Get Famous stuff, like our first couple of jams, and
did you hear the magic?
I heard the magic. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I heard the magic, and it made me start questioning things. Just like, how did that magic happen so quickly, and where did it come from? We're setting this up for our, people watching it and be like, play these tracks. Let me hear. I'll be the fucking judge of that.
That ain't magic.
Sounds like when I'm taking a shit. I've heard more magic taking a shit. I'll give you some magic right here.
Want to see my genie? Is that a thing?
I think there's something to be said about that too, that we hear all the magic. We heard it then, and listening back to it, we hear it, all these years later. But it's true that there may not be any magic in there. That there's some kind of time capsule effect happening that just captured feelings, emotions, and
I think that's the thing about magic, is that
magic
it's about belief.
Oh,
Magic is about belief. So if and that's the thing where and I absolutely have no there's no confusion about this. You could be so incredibly talented and have really original stuff, whatever. But then there's those people sometimes that you don't think there's magic there, but their persistence, they just keep hammering and they get there, So I feel like my issue, and maybe the Get Famous, thing right now, is it's this thing where we have stuff, like we have
a lot of stuff.
I feel like we got something but we're not hammering.
Yeah.
And that's all it comes down to. Those people that hammer, they just keep going after it. And of course, they can also be incredibly talented and have original stuff and hammer. It's not just like those people that aren't talented that keep hammering and they get some. No, But like,
You know, there's an old story. I'm sure everybody on this stream has heard this by now, so I don't want to be the guy who just says this like really old thing. But in case anyone hasn't heard this, there's a famous this story of, I believe it was a university, maybe it was MIT or something. And there was, I'm going to butcher all the details, but there was a pottery class, and a professor came in one year and said, okay, for this year, half the students, we're separating the students in half. This half is going to concentrate on making the best piece of pottery all year. You have all year. Go ahead and make the best possible work of art piece of pottery. And then the other half of the students, their job was to make as many pieces of pottery as possible. You just have to mass produce it. Just churn it out. Your goal is to make as many as you can. And then what ended up happening is by the end of the year, the ones that focused on making the best piece of pottery ended up making a shitty one that wasn't as good as the ones made by the mass-produced half. I'm probably butchering this story, but the point is, the takeaway is that those who spent all this time just making so many, pumping it out over and over and over, also ended up making the most technically superior piece as well. And I think if that's folklore, then so be it. But ever since I heard that, it clicked for me. I heard that and I was like, that's true. I see that everywhere. You get these artists or companies or organizations, those who produce most often end up making some pretty good stuff while they're at it.
Yep.
And
so true.
And if you just spend all your time dwelling to make the most perfect piece, you just
not efficient.
It's not efficient. No.
You think about how much the efficiency drops off because you're fussing. You've got this thing, it's building, and then it's like you're fussing. Like the efficiency of the whole process. It is always like, if you can make something better, it's like a slight bit, but you do need to, as we say in the business, shit it out.
Just pinch it, man. Just pinch that thing.
No, but like I think that's so true. And I feel like for, say, my music and your music and our music, I think we should try to challenge each other on that and try to.
It's so true.
Because I know that right now, like if someone was like, make a jingle for this restaurant, I could literally make it in one night.
Oh yeah.
And I would be like so pumped about it. And I'd be like, there you fucking go. And it would be like I'd be so hyped about it.
Totally.
Because if someone gives me, or they're like, oh, if you gave me a movie scene, make a composition for this movie scene, I would be all over it. And I would feel there's something it just directs you towards, and I'm just like that with all these things. Like, oh, can you make a video like this? Yes, I can make a video like that, or take a photo like this or whatever. Like if I have that direction and that sort of, but it's hard when you're directing yourself. That's where I get lost in the weeds.
Yeah.
But but at the same time, it's probably because I'm not feeling enough confidence about just my own vision. This is the fucking vision, out of my way. Like just, push everyone aside and just let it be what it is and let it come to fruition.
What would be great is to get like 10 different musicians all on a live stream, almost like a round table, or like in the same room when, COVID's done. I want to explore this. I want to explore like this virus that's in the heads of musicians that prevents us from.
Don't say that. Don't say virus.
oh my God.
Too soon.
This condition that exists in. Okay, moving along. Let's go to super chats.
What is super chats? I feel dumb.
Teeny. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, Teeny something asks, Aaron, will you marry me?
Okay. Wait, are you making this up?
No, super chats. That's where
What is super chats?
people pay to ask a question. A premium feature on YouTube.
Oh, what?
Don't you
How do I
watch
see this? Do I get
YouTube,
to see this?
dude?
Do I get to see this?
Yeah, everyone can see it. Oh, we just got $1,000 from Mega Bombastic.
I don't like.
And he wants to know when's the next Get Famous album coming out.
Super bombastic. Why am I okay? Ted says it too. Why am I not seeing the super chats?
I don't know. You know what? YouTube's been funky today. When's the next Get Famous album coming out? He asks.
How about 2021?
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
But we have 6 more tracks that we need to get out there, and they're so close.
Yeah. In case, you know, we should tell a little story. I mean, it's been a while since we've actually been doing anything. I bet if there's anyone from Winnipeg that's watching this right now, they're all dying to know what happened to us.
Yeah. There are
We were so fucking big in Winnipeg, dude.
But you know what? The people who are into us are really into us.
There were a few people that were into us, and we really appreciate that. I mean, we've had some of our tracks licensed to TV shows, and we've had some big superstar DJs play our stuff. I feel like all the magic happened back when we didn't fret and care so much. It was just
Not
like,
fret and care so much.
yeah, we were excited that things were happening.
Yes. Yes. I just want to get out the stuff that's sitting there. And just, of course, we're not allowed to be in the same room right now, which is a bit of an issue, but where we are.
I'm reading chats. People are freaking out. Theo, who was our friend just a few minutes ago, seems like he's actually turned on Get Famous, and he would like me to turn off the focusing feature on my camera. Theo,
Is it hunting and it's annoying, Ted?
because I scratched my back or something. Like, it goes out of focus once, and you want me to go and turn off the feature altogether. Wow. Wow. You want me to stop the live stream too? Holy, why don't you come over here and turn it off for me? Oh my God.
But John, you got to get one of these that I bought. Then you could turn the focus off.
Oh yeah. Actually, can you turn focus with that?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
It's got a feature for that.
We were talking about music, so
yeah.
We in case people care. If you don't care, you can obviously tune into some other live stream, but you know this one is the best one, so let's not even fuck around here. So
there's a couple to choose from, but
there's like 2 or 3 to choose from, but this one's the best, and you are the coolest. If anyone looks over your shoulder to see you consuming this content, they know you're the shit.
Yup.
So Aaron and I, as Get Famous, in case people don't know, but Get Famous is our band. That's sometimes with an exclamation mark at the end. Get Famous, because you should get famous. And I think we dropped the exclamation mark finally. But Get Famous,
you.
We released a 3-track EP. That was what? Was that last year or was that the year before now?
That was actually 2019, so that was the year before. Oh,
Oh my God. Yeah, we didn't do anything in 2020. So we released a 3-track EP early 2019. I think that was
April
February
2018,
or April,
I think.
with the goal being that there would be a 3-track EP that would drop, followed by another 3-track EP the month after, and then another 3-track
And we
EP.
proceeded to never get together.
And we never got together, and we never finished them.
I'm glad we got the one out.
We got one out. It's up on Spotify. We did it. You know, it is what it is. It's, you know, most of the struggle to get these things done is, well, I didn't frame that right. I would say it's always a struggle to get these things done. And I wish we could have completed all 3 EPs. That would have been magical. We still can. We'll be like 65 by the time we put it out. But we also...
Well, you know what? That's the beautiful thing is this can all happen. It can all happen in a week.
It could all
Like,
happen in a week.
If we have the crazy juice, if we have enough crazy juice, we can get the fire. I mean, sorry, that doesn't mean we're just gonna booze. I mean, just like
Well, that's usually what it
figuratively,
takes.
we just need a little bit of. We just need to be like. But sometimes you get the crazy obsession. You get the obsession. I get obsession about different things. Not the most constructive obsession. You get really constructive obsessions where you're just like, let's go, and you're just like, charge, like.
Yeah, I become a dog with a bone with sometimes with things, right? And
Yeah,
I actually have to
want that, and we need that right now.
I have to be really careful with what I invest my time and focus into, because if I grab a hold of it, that's it. It's you're not getting it from me.
You.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't feel right talking about our mental illness and how we haven't completed projects. I was more interested in how the evolution of a musical artist, a talented one like yourself, takes place, and what they see for themselves, what they're planning to do, what will 2021, aside from the dynamic that exists between you and I, just talking about you as an artist, what is in store for Aaron Ives in 2021 as an artist?
I guess I can't lie that I'm more I'm a little bit more tuned into photography, video production, and I'd like to make some music videos and things like that for people. You know, just certain other projects for music. I think I should make sure that I release something this year. I think that would be just a humble goal of just releasing a track. You know, just and then if it goes to 2 or 3, then that'd be great. But just to put something out there. So I mean, I have all these things, these almost finished tracks that I think I need someone to help me put the finishing touches on it, because I end up not knowing if anything's needed or if nothing's needed at all. Just get really confused at those end stages of an idea.
Yeah, fresh eyes, fresh ears. It always helps on any kind of project. I don't think any piece of content like that is produced in a vacuum where no one else gets to see it. Like, even artists that we all appreciate, and, you know, maybe they release some album that we think just came out in secrecy, but of course there was like a dozen people on it. Like, you got to get some fresh ears, fresh eyes, fresh perspective on what you're working on. You cannot work on it yourself. But here's actually, I want to say something on this topic. And I've told you this before. This is a musician gripe. Maybe some of the other fellow musicians can chime in if they've had this experience. something about music that just pisses me off. It pisses me off so much when making music. So I've made all sorts of different things, music and videos and actual physical products and things. Music's this one thing where you don't get any feedback. You don't get any constructive feedback. And maybe this is just my experience.
You are so right.
So with video, you get suggestions. You show it to somebody. You show it to fresh ears, fresh eyes, whatever. And they're like, oh, I think you should trim that frame there. I think that piece doesn't fit.
And often
with music,
there might be something there.
Yeah. And maybe with like a physical product, or maybe you built a web page. Somebody goes, oh, the menu doesn't work well. They tell you feedback that's helpful.
Like, I'm touching your thing and it cuts me and I'm bleeding.
My pee-pee hurts. I don't know why. But with music, you show somebody and they're like, yeah, that's good. Yeah. I love that. And you're like, but I know something's wrong with it. I want you to tell me what's wrong with it. And they're like, that's really good, dude. Check mine out. You're like,
right.
Get out.
Yeah.
There's no feedback. You never get
kind of like, where on the scale of, like there's just no, you have this massive scale and you just have no idea where on that scale it is.
If somebody else has a different experience, I'd love to hear that. Like, oh no, I always get constructive feedback from whoever I show my stuff to. But it's like, I don't know. It's this weird thing. Like, hey, I'm going to play you this new track I made. And then you send it or you play it and someone's just like, even if they do give you feedback, it's not helpful. It's kind of like, it's so lazy of a comment. Like, I can't think of it actually because it's been so long since I've sent anything to someone. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, that's rad, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's
sounds awesome. That's probably the best one.
And I think I
sounds
do that too.
Awesome.
I do that too.
Or
to other people. But I'm also like I mean it.
Okay, but so let's reverse perspective. So I've also done the same thing. I have said like, sounds great, but I've thought something else. And the reason I've done it was because, again, I'm only speaking for myself. Maybe some other musicians can relate to this, but I think as a musician, you're just so self-conscious too that that it's this weird conundrum. Like, if you were to receive all of the painful criticism that you're asking for when you send something out, it would make your shit better. But then somebody sends that thing to you and they ask for your feedback, and in your head you should give this, or maybe you don't realize in your head that you should give the feedback, but instead you're like, oh, I'm gonna crush this person if I just tell them, I don't like it. And that's the other thing too. I think there's so many genres, there's so many subgenres and different niches of music that it's really hard. Somebody sends you like something that's not exactly what you're into, and you're kind of like, I think that sounds good, but I'm not really into that. So how can I pick this apart and give them accurate, criticism or accurate feedback that'll be helpful? Maybe I'm overthinking this. I don't know. Not everyone's like an audiophile sonic expert that can be like, oh, you got a little too much 10K there. You got a little too much 10K there at 3 minutes and 1 second.
Yeah.
Just turn that down and the track will be amazing.
Oh, it's yeah, it is really, and that's probably at the heart of, I think that's why I've been more attracted to taking photos and making videos, because what's nice about photos is they're kind of immediate. Now, of course, you can take it so much time on a photo to really craft it into something, and it's not like it's just this throwaway thing. But you can also just have magic immediately. You know, it can just be something that's just grabs you. Whereas if I pull up my kazoo, where's my kazoo? Shit. Okay, I don't know my kazoo, but then I would pull up my kazoo and just make a few, you know, sounds. I don't know. Then you know you're gonna be like, okay. It's just, I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, in case people also don't know this, you know, Aaron and I are very similar. We both do music and photography and video, and we both have theater backgrounds, and all of it. We're just like very, very similar. But again, everything I, you know, say, that's my opinion. I'm not speaking for you, but I was thinking with photos, it is easy in a sense because it's just such a sliver in time. You're not even asking for 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes of someone's time, or God forbid, a set. You send an hour-long set to someone. Hey, check out my new DJ set. You know, with a photo, you're asking for one millisecond. Like, look at this photo. Look what I did, and you know right away if it's great. You are a pile of pixelated barf at the moment. What's happening? Did you change a setting?
I didn't touch it. I was noticing, I just checked out YouTube occasionally, and my face has been distorting, and I'm glitched, I'm pixelated. Oh wow, look at me. I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up because oh there, look at how freaky I am. Oh wow, I'm back.
Yeah,
What happened?
I don't know.
I like that setting.
That was a cool setting.
Wow, we've done it. Maybe we need to continue this chat another time.
Nope, we'll just keep going. We're building an audience here. I think we have 320,000, 310,000 watching live. So this
we
is
have a Cardoso Media was saying they started producing music years ago and moved into the video realm as well.
oh, I see that. Send a vid. Hit me with a link. Cardoso Media. I would love to see other content from any of the people that like know who I am or get famous. I don't really reach out to do much. I did some live streams in the spring, but I think we'll do some more now, and I'd love to sort of connect with the people, connect with the fan base, connect with the audience. Hit me up on Instagram if you are on Instagram, jnl.fm, and on YouTube, absolutely, JNL. What is my YouTube handle? I don't even know. I don't think I have a channel ID. Just JNL. JNL. Look for it. If you don't find me, then you didn't try hard enough.
This is so sad. I'm not sure what my SoundCloud is right now, but that's so bad. But you can follow me on Instagram. Aaron D. Ives. Aaron Dives.
Oh, yes,
And,
Aaron Dives. Yes, D
Dives. Facebook as Frameless Media, or you can find me Aaron Ives. And I guess we're gonna have to get back to talking about the music thing. I know that I have an Aaron Dives music channel on SoundCloud, but I can't log into my SoundCloud right now. So I'm yeah. We'll do that another time.
I don't know if you noticed, but Theo is streaming us to his Twitch
Oh, cool.
while he is, I think, playing a game.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm going to give him a shout out. Go visit Aaron's original roommate and our great friend Theo. Theo Zoo at twitch.tv/Theo_TZU. Follow him. He's a fun guy. He plays games. I'm not really into games, but
Is he still in Winnipeg?
I think so. He's chatting on the on YouTube.
It's insane. I just feel like we're so disconnected, and I'd love to see Ted.
Don't say that.
Hi.
Yes, he's still here.
Awesome.
He does music and talk shows. So he's kind of like a
okay. Sorry if we didn't mention that. Theo's a great musician.
Yeah, he does music and talk shows. He's kind of like a David Letterman who DJs.
Oh, he's throwing a virtual festival at the end of the month.
Beautiful. I should also mention that if anyone's on Twitch right now watching us, I will be part of a raid train. I'm just learning about the details now, so I'll probably, if I do another live stream, I'll put out the information. But it will be the 16th of this month. We're going to have 10 or 12 DJs or something all across Canada, some super big guys, and some really, really great DJs. I'm going to be part of that, so tune back in on, make yourself available, cancel all your plans. If the lockdowns release, make sure you lock yourself down. That's Saturday, January 16th. And that's going to be all day. That's going to be like 4 p.m. till, I don't know, 2 a.m. So take some caffeine pills and get your booze and get ready. Sorry for the plug. Back to the show.
And yeah, that's I think we should call it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know it's time to go when your guest says he's tired.
I just need to eat dinner.
Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. We're going to do this again soon. So
Yes.
everyone have a great night. Thanks for watching, and take care.
Awesome.